on the panel live from Monterrey, Mexico, Miguel Mendoza. Miguel Mendoza is the CEO of the company ADS Automated Data Systems. And Miguel, you work quite closely with, I think, all the big OEMs in automotive industry, but not only. So how is the situation in Mexico as a machine integrator? I think this is very interesting for us to know. And it's great to see you. And yeah, we're looking forward to get your insights.
Yeah, no, yeah. Thank you very much for the invitation, Dominic. David, it's good to see you again, you guys. And Andreas, it's also good to see you. The situation in Mexico, I think, is like a mirror of what is happening in different areas of the world. And the industries, the projects for integration, if there was a project for a value of 100, then the values of the projects have become like a 30%, 40% of the value of the original project. That is what is happening. They have not stopped, but they have been very conservative on what they are doing. How do they invest the money? And yeah, that is kind of the status, Dominic.
Thank you. Miguel, you have the virtual stage. You can share your screen if you want.
Let me try to see if it can be shared here.
Perfect. We can see your PowerPoints.
You can see the screen now.
We can see your screen. You're good to go.
Okay. Yeah, so I would like to start with this part because as Kim was saying, and the drop in the markets are getting big, and also the way to go, where do you want to go? How can you survive in a market? So it's struggling. So when we hear this, like we cannot directly win. We cannot direct the pandemic and what is happening, but we can adjust the sales. That's a very interesting point because if we can adjust the sales where we want to go, maybe we can overpass this pandemic and the markets and the business and the corporations. But there is an important point. We need to know. We need to know exactly where do we want to go, or where do we need to arrive. Because if not, even that we adjust the sales, we will go nowhere. So we started with this because we have an interesting situation in a project. But first of all, I wanted to mention the structure or the pilots that we to support the operation for us in Mexico at ADS. So the internal strategy for us internally in ADS during the pandemic time was 4 points. The first one is, let's keep the company alive. So what does it mean? Whatever it means to keep alive the company, the cash flow, the orders, the pursuing projects, to be smart in the way that you try to keep the company alive. The second step that we try to do is we need to take care of our people. So we need to protect our people. And the number third is we need to protect our customers. So, and then we need to be ready when the return after the pandemic. We don't know when is it coming, but we try to support these 4 points as an internal strategy as integrators. And then we can say that for almost 37 years, we have been serving the Mexican and international markets, supplying solutions, system solutions, and we integrate different things, software, hardware, mechanical parts, pneumatic, electronics, automated systems to our customers with our own also developed software integrations. And then after we deliver our systems, as Kim was saying, they deliver the machines. They need to deliver the support with the customer to install the machines and those things. This is what we were used to do. The final installation, the final configuration, the final calibration on site and training, always has been given by ADS staff on site. So we used to travel, we used to visit with our people, making all these processes, and also with a personal touch on customer sites. Because when the people goes and support operations, you get contact and feelings of the user and the people, and you can later on continue that process. And then, yeah, we have been successful in that implementation in 14 different countries, in different projects through the years. So that was the normal use the normal custom uses processes we used to have. And the end point is that we have a customer satisfaction and also recognition for our people that used to go to those installations. So that is the normal, what is happening, I could say, until the starting of the pandemic. Then we have a problem. So the pandemic arrives into the world. But in that moment, exactly in the moment like February, March, we have a situation, specific situation. We have 4 systems delivered to Brazil from Mexico, starting this year, to 4 different cities in Brazil. The systems were already on site in the customer, and they are packed and with the packaging in the original packaging, just waiting for us to make the final launching and commissioning of the system. So, but one day before our people fly to Brazil in the middle of March, the trips that were planned and everything that was planned and like normal we did are canceled, and it was due to the pandemic. But we were in accordance that we need to protect our people and the customer. So we made an agreement with them that we cancel the trips. So now we have this situation. We need now to liberate our systems on each facility, but without the physical presence of our people. So what do we do? So, and that was struggling, really struggling to us. So we need, the challenge was, we need to liberate the 4 systems in 4 different cities in Brazil. Convert without traveling, without traveling our people. So I think Kim microphone is making, okay. Then we need to convert our normal standard services, liberations, from the presential method to a non-presential way, but we needed to accomplish something, be with the same customer satisfaction. So, and the time to react for this conversion presential virtual in a very short time. So there is a story, and we wanted to present this because I don't know if many feel like this one, that like the story says, once upon a time in Mexico, so there was the stand where the people said, congratulations, you are the only one and also the winner of crossing the river infested with crocodiles. And the guy is asking to the winner, please tell us how you prepare yourself to accomplish this activity. And the winner, gasping and sweating, says, really, I did not prepare myself, but I don't want to find out who pushed me into the river. So because he swim over the crocodiles and get into the first place, but he was not prepared. So we felt like that one. We felt like we were in the middle of the crocodiles and trying to swim so fast because who pushes out? And you can see the guy is the COVID who pushes out there. So before we normally in the past way, we normally did Well, we ship the items to Brazil, and we have a logistics for hotel reservations, flight reservations. We have to send for people for 2 teams. We have established itineraries, activity planification per plan. We have a complete agenda for everything to be done in 1 week. So it was really a big amount of logistics in that part. But it was not anymore because all flights were canceled. The agendas established canceled. So, and everybody was in a kind of what's going on and what will happen. So we were struggling and trying to keep on the past. And then we were hearing this phrase from Socrates, and he was very clever because normally when we're trying to make some efforts, we focus our energy in fighting the old. So we were like this, we were doing this, this is the way we do. But we realized that we did not needed to be fighting the old way we did things. But then we needed to build a new one. And I think many companies are feeling the same because it's for the future. So if we keep hanging on the old way we used to do the things, maybe we will not survive. We need to create different things. So this was a new plan, and the new plan was involved with Industry 4.0. So we needed to use to accomplish the things, but in a way that we can use our capabilities, the knowledge, and the support from different organizations, ourselves internally, but thinking about 4.0. So we have to create an agreement, methodologies, pre-configurations, initial startup, trainings, calibrations, documentation, and start the project. First, in the first part, the agreement, we need to have an agreement with the customer to see the scope and the goals. But also in the second part, in the methodology, we were using augmented reality to create awareness, awakening of the people. We were using the technologies to create remote support. Then we have to pre-configure the system, and we could pre-configure in Mexico the systems. And then we have the startup, and we were using different tools and the trainings. We were using the remote levels, administration, operator, maintenance, because this was very important that the customer should be involved in this process because they need to help us, that the people is being trained needs to be also be supported by us, and that they can accomplish the things on site. And then we needed to create special applications and new software to calibrate in a way that can be calibrated remotely. We never did that. Now we can do it, and we can create also a certification from Mexico because we are also doing the proper things with them in a common way. Then we have the documentation and everything. So this was the new way we tried to do. And then the time frame. Normally it took us 1 week for our people to go to the facilities, to go for a country. Normally they stay 1 or 2 days more, I think more in Brazil, enjoying Brazil, but the normal time is staying 1 week on site with the customer. So after we planned the things and we did the things, we create a new plan with 4.0, and we use the video conferences, we use the video documentation, we use the remote training, we use the augmented reality, and we develop special softwares to make a remote calibration. So it took us like 5 weeks to develop this complete strategy. And but now, after we deliver a system, the 4 systems in 5 weeks, we know that for the future system of the same kind of or other systems that we can deliver, it will take maybe 1.5 weeks. So 1 week versus 1.5, we consider that it was now we are capable of doing things. So the results, what are the results there? The delivery of the system to the customer was achieved in a very short time. The full customer's ADS service recognition and satisfaction was obtained. So the goal we try to do is, can we get the recognition and the satisfaction of the customer? And the answer is yes, we did. So, Dr. Dominic, it was very interesting when we were reading your writing on the invitation to the to these conferences. And I am writing and I am passing here this information and quoting you, Dr. Dominic, because you said every crisis is also a chance. Yes. The Corona crisis has accelerated the adoption of digital technologies. Yes, we are adopting a lot of digital technology by years. Digital communication tools has become the new world of work. Yes, you are right, Dominic. Remote technologies, yes, you are correct. Allow those to execute complex maintenance tasks in a factory on one side of the world and the living room on the other side. Yes, it's what we did. It's like Kim is saying right now, also from Korea. Automation of business and manufacturing process helps to keep the supply chain. Yes. Running that one, while flexible production concepts ensure that our industries can quickly adapt to new changing demands. It's exactly what we did. In 45 days, we completely changed exactly everything we were doing in the old way and keeping in the new way. And now this is very important, Dominic, when you say it becomes clear that all technologies on which we have been working on during the concept of Industry 4.0 for several years are more necessary than ever. You are correct, Dominic. So I think we are lucky that we were working on the concepts and the Industry 4.0 for years. Maybe it was because if we did not work in that way, I don't know what will happen at this moment. It will be a kind of a struggling world. The virtual analysis and the role that it play on the crisis. But you were correct, Dominic, on the words, and we put this because, and we are quoting you because, yeah, it was very important when you wrote there. So then I wanted to finish and said, we cannot direct the wind, but we can adjust the sails. But we need to be very clear where we need to go and where we want to arrive. So this is the part, Dominic. So I don't know if there are some questions.
Thank you, Miguel. Of course, there are questions. Actually, you wrote them. Thank you for quoting us. I would like to ask you the same question that I asked before, Milan. You say it has accelerated us in terms of digital technologies by years. You estimate how many years has it advanced us? What number would you give out here?
So the question is if the COVID has accelerated the use of technologies now.
Yes, by how many years? Which number would you give us? Would you say it's half a year, 1 year, 2 years, or even more?
It's a very interesting question because with a university that I know that they presented a case that they said that by Zoom conferences or remote conference the past year, they presented 8 conferences on the 2019. And they were very happy for doing that. So, but now during this year, they have accomplished almost 4,000 conferences. So and they were happy because they were using technology in the past year for instance, but now they are 4,000. And for example, here in Monterrey Tech University, that Professor David is part of, they are using completely the technology for the classes. So that's very interesting. Now, if you say, if you tell me that in the past year, the university were thinking to reconvert everything into remote classes, I will tell you that it will take like 5-7 years. But now everything has been accomplished in 1 year. Now, when you say, hey guys, you need to reconvert your services, and you can tell me in the beginning or the end of the past year, Miguel, you need to do everything virtual. And I said, are you kidding me? Now we are doing that. So if we were going to take like 4-5 years to do something like that, we were pushing into the river with the crocodiles, and we need to do it in a very short way. So maybe for services, remote services, we were thinking 4 or 5 years. Now we are doing in 1 year. So I don't know if that could be a good approach, but I think in that way could be, Dominic.
Okay. So that means also you won't send your employees anymore to Brazil, so no more caipirinha for your workers, or do you think this is also going to go into some kind of a hybrid model in the future?
Eventually, Dominic, eventually we will be also a way to find out to travel, but I think we will be smarter and very, very cost effective for traveling, because if we need to travel like Brazil for even for caipirinhas, and so our people will like to have that one, will be a kind of we will need to do it. Yes, the presence and the touch, the human touch, I think will be when the pandemic slows down and it's out. It's the same case, Dominic, with the meetings we have with the Swiss Manufacturing Network that you are holding right now. Normally, we used to do with presential, and we can have the people from different countries talking together about the ideas and sharing a beer and sharing thoughts about that. But now we are doing virtually, and we are looking forward to go for the next meeting when the pandemic is over.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right on that. We look forward to also meet in person and have this gathering and these discussions on the future of technology here also on site. We will go back and we will try to host the Smart Factory Networking meeting next year, if it's possible, Miguel. So this is not off the table. We try to bring that back, of course. Now I would like to bring in Stefan Pauli. He has 2 questions to you, Miguel. Stefan, I will take you on the panel.
Thank you very much. Yeah, indeed, I have 2 questions. Maybe one was already answered with the question from Dominic, but the second one, can you say something about the costs of the new strategy? Is it cheaper? Is it more expensive? Can you say something about it?
Stefan, that's a very interesting question. If the first part I can tell you, Stefan, is when you need to survive, it doesn't matter the expenses you have. So in the moment that you need to develop things like we did, you don't care about the amount of money or the efforts or resources you put there. However, after you do it, you can make like a robotic part. So you can automatization of that part. So in that case, the learning curve and the expenses you placed in the first time will be a lot of savings for the future. Now, if you say so about the cost of traveling and hotels and meals and different things, and you don't have those at this moment, then you are saving a lot of money in that part. But you need to balance what are you going to do with a very nice service for the future with putting many tools. So I think at this moment we are getting or in the following steps to create services like those, we will be very cost saving effective guys. I don't know, Stefan, if I answered your question.
Yeah, it was indeed more related to the future, whether you kind of have cost savings and plan to apply it, and yeah. So thank you very much for the question, for the answer.
Thank you, Stefan. I would say hello to you again.
Yes.
All right. So that was also extremely interesting. Thank you, Miguel, for your fantastic presentation. And yeah, we're glad that you came out of the river and you're not eaten by the crocodiles. So we now come actually already to the last talk, last expert talk of this session and of this event. We brought him on the program more or less in the last moment, but we are even more happy to have him. Dr. Oscar Lazaro. Oscar, we can see you already. Oscar, you're going to talk to us about the European approach to repurposing for reliable and resilient response to the pandemic, manufacturing demands. It's a long title, but there's quite important message behind. So we're looking forward to hear what you have to say.
Thank you, Dominic. First of